the rumbly sound of a bass dulcimer, and not just any bass dulcimer, but a double special custom-made Folkcraft Instruments bass and standard dulcimer, and not just only that, but standard and a chromatic bass side. A weird little thing that I am so happy to have and work with going into the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2021 and Dulcimerica, the very first episode of season number 14. Man, it seems so strange looking back to 2007 and starting this video podcast, as it was called back in the day, and not knowing exactly what I was going to do and how I was going to do it, and certainly did not think I was going to be doing it for 14 years. So thank you for every single one of you out there who have subscribed over the years, and for everybody who's watched episodes, liked episodes, and done a lot of other things because they saw Dulcimerica. And thank you guys very, very much. I'm looking forward to this year, and got a lot of really good feedback on the last few episodes of 2020. So we'll be doing a lot more of that coming up. Today, I just want to sit down with this thing and play around with it a little bit. As you can see, I'm still sort of dressed in, like I just woke up on Christmas morning, and that's kind of how I feel about a new instrument. And this is my first new instrument, first new dulcimer in about a year or so. But this is one that is going to serve a very, very important purpose. It's going to enable me to do what you just saw on a very, very low scale, low key acoustic level. I can just take a looper pedal and this dulcimer and no other gear whatsoever. All of my octave pedals to get the bass and all of these drum pedals and effects and whatnot. I can just do it all with one dulcimer, play the bass part, and then come back and play the, what would you call not necessarily a treble dulcimer part, but I guess we could go that direction. Not exactly a soprano dulcimer part either, but it's not a bass. Maybe we'll call it an alto dulcimer part. In any case, being able to do that on one instrument and not have a whole bunch of pedals is going to be great, as I do a lot more when I do get out and perform. I still haven't done so since lockdown of last year, except for one a very special occasion. Other than that, I've been staying at home. But in anticipation of going back out into the scene, I want to take a lot less gear and scale it way back so I can leave a smaller footprint on stage, get in the back corner of a bar or a pub or a resort stage, and not have to bring all this stuff with me, so I can get in, play, and then get out very quickly. And this is going to be very, very key to that. And we'll get a little bit more deeper into this and how you could possibly use a double dulcimer. I'm really surprised that more people aren't playing them. But before I go any deeper, I would like to start off this new year by saying hello to one of my patrons on Patreon, Catherine Dulcimer. That's right, Catherine Dulcimer. Catherine, thank you so very, very much for becoming a patron. I really, really appreciate your dedication, your commitment, your support, your encouragement, and I'm really enjoying the lessons that we're having together and everything that goes with that, that wonderful circle of giving that happens. You appreciate what I do, and I give that to you, and then you, as a patron, in turn give back to me. And you make it so very easy to not worry about the small stuff and just be able to concentrate on doing what it is that I know how to do best, which is simply make music, research it, teach it, and share it with other people. So Catherine, I want to thank you very, very much. And I want to thank all of my patrons, not only for everything from last year, but for the past 6 years on Patreon. You've made it possible for me to simply focus on these things, update new equipment and software, take care of all of our streaming and cloud-based data storage, and when things break, I no longer fret about it. I simply can go and take care of it, and that's because of patrons. And when everything went sideways in 2020, who were there for me? My patrons. So thank you guys so very, very much. I appreciate you. Now, if you guys are thinking about becoming a patron, the first part of the month is a good time to do that, because you can get in for $5 a month, or you can get in on an annual pass for $50.40 per year. That is a savings of 16%. So if you're not familiar with Patreon, you're not sure what to expect, go ahead and take a look at patreon.com/bingfutch. Scroll past all the sign up stuff, go to the open house section, and feel free to click through there and download whatever you want. Find it, enjoy it for mountain dulcimer, Native American flute, ukulele, music theory, all kinds of different things. If you like what you see, please do consider becoming a patron like Catherine. And I want to thank you, Catherine, again, and all of my patrons very much for becoming a part of my art. This is a great way to kick off the year. Brand new dulcimer, brand new season of Dulcimerica, and I am so stoked about this. First of all, it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous instrument, as you can see. Very stunning. Now, I've been getting double dulcimers for a very long time. In fact, as long as Dulcimerica's been around, I've been getting double dulcimers made for me. Reason being is I do a lot of playing in different tunings, and instead of having to be on stage and retune all the time or grab another dulcimer, I decided I wanted to have 2 fretboards. And so Folkcraft began making these for me in 2008. I still have every single double that I've ever gotten from them, starting with Annie from the very, very beginning, through Buttercup, which was my first kind of bizarre hybrid with standard on one side, chromatic on the other side. And for the longest time, I'd been thinking, what would really be nice is to have a standard baritone. And that was before I started getting into doing a lot of what I do with the pedals during my shows. So I decided finally to go ahead and just get a bass on one side and then get the standard on the other side, so I could always play, the songs I always play. But if I ever needed to support that in a loop, like I just did with Promontory from The Last of the Mohicans, I could actually play the bass part over here without the need for any pedals, and then come over here and play the rest of the part. So what I think I'm going to be doing here, since many of you responded so wonderfully to my chord building series in December, is first of all, I'm going to open it up to all of you out there watching. What would you like to see covered on this new season of Dulcimerica? If you could leave that in the community section of YouTube, or you can just email me at bingfutch@yahoo.com. Let me know what you want to see, what you want to learn, and I'll incorporate that into my lesson plans for the coming year. But also, I think what I'm going to be looking at for certain, since many of you have been talking about it, is how to play bass and the theory behind playing bass, and what kind of bass maybe you should get and what kind of amplifier you should get if you're going that direction. That'll be coming up. Right now I'm just kind of salivating over this axe. So let me do something here. First of all, I'm going to turn the volume down and let you hear it without being plugged into my little Bose speaker down here. That is so much fun. So you might be asking, why did I get a chromatic fretboard on the bass side? And the reason for that, you heard a little bit of it right there. Even though I do love playing fully chromatic, I like the challenges that the semi-diatonic mountain dulcimer brings to the table. I like having the 1.5 fret, I like having the 6.5 fret, even though they're not considered diatonic. It gives me just enough color to work with. So I don't have to have everything at my disposal. I don't have to think about it way too much. And it is very, very simple to go ahead and play through. However, with the bass, there are a lot of passing tones that you can use and walk downs and things like that, that usually I have to bend to get them in order to play them on the standard dulcimer. And so I figured that it would be nice to have the chromatic number 1 to be able to catch all of those notes without bending them. Second, I can kind of look at the bass as another voice of what I'm doing here. So I could play something over here, you know. And then next time I come around, I can do it in a different voice on this side, right? But the other thing I like about this is that because I've got fully chromatic side over here, is that stuff I can't do here, I can do over here. So when I get down to the end of Edelweiss and I need that G minor, I can actually make my way over to the other fretboard, and of course I could do this with a standard chromatic as well. But I can come over there, instead of playing the bar 3 to get a G5 chord, I can come over here and actually play and get my true G minor by articulating that B flat down there at the first fret on the chromatic side. There's a lot of things here. It's a big, wide, wonderful world, and as I mentioned, I have Buttercup, which is a standard chromatic, and they're both alto dulcimers, I guess you could call them. This is my first chromatic bass dulcimer, and I'm really looking forward to incorporating it because I can get all those walk downs, as I mentioned. Sometimes having those little half steps is really what brings the sweetness into being able to walk that bass around, even if you're just playing basic 1-4-5 stuff. I'm not going to get into it right now because right now I'm just sitting and playing. But we will be talking about bass playing, bass dulcimer playing in particular, for your group, for yourself, for you and your friends, or for whatever else you might be, backing somebody else up with a band, for example. It's a very, very good thing to know, and you can incorporate that into your normal mountain dulcimer playing as well. Let me turn the amp back up again. And I'm going to take us out with a simple little bit of loop music here. Thanks for hanging out with me on the first day of the year, or whenever you might be watching this. Again, thank you so much to everybody who has watched Dulcimerica over the years and subscribed. Please subscribe if you're new to this video series. I'm here every Friday with a brand new episode. And again, you can email me at bingfutch@yahoo.com and suggest some topics, and I'd be happy to do that for anybody who would like to hear something in particular. Also, of course, I want to thank all of my patrons who are there for me every single day. And I really love and appreciate you guys. Last year was quite the ride, wasn't it? But we got through it together, and we have a brand new year, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. So thanks again very, very much. I'm going to go out with some U2. Thanks again, everybody. Happy New Year. May your 2021 be super awesome and full of music. And I will see you next week. Thanks for watching.